What is up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Today I thought we'd take a look at the best champions right now for every role and also a few to watch out for. If you could do me a quick favor though, I'm never sure whether you're happy with just like a video like this for all of them or if you want some more top 5s and stuff to go into each role properly, so can you all let me know in the comments. A list of the champions and timestamps to the roles are going to be in the description, but we're going to start with AD carry. Lucian is by far the best AD carry right now. Everything has kind of just come together for him at once and now he's really strong. Further being better, the new blade, direct buffs like a nerf to lethality and crit just being average. Even the exhaust nerfs are going to help him. Blade and cleaver seems to be the best in general right now. I think it's definitely the safest build. Like, it's the most reliable build. Blade and Trinity is a bit more risky. Firstly, it's a bit more expensive, but it is better versus squishy though. Like, it's more burst. Remember, by the way, cleaver increases your percentage damage on blade, so it is better than you think anyway. He's going to be one of the best early game champions. I think he's really aggressive. He's got good damage and lifesteal afterwards for the trade as well. This is actually part of it. People have just forgotten how much damage he does early, so they don't respect it. Mid game, he's still really strong as well and mobile. It helps that like big tanks and crowd control are not around as much right now. Like, that would really screw him over. He's a good duelist versus damage. Twitch is going to be number 2, so he's the best crit champion in my opinion. It's kind of the reverse of Lucian though. Like, he's average early, but he's best late game. He's probably the best late game AD you can play. Even over someone like Jinx or Caitlyn or Kog'Maw, Twitch is doing better right now. It's because he's got a lot built into his kit. The Q attack speed, the crits, the percentage damage, the poison, the runes, the ultimate hitting more. That's a lot of synergy, to be honest, just from right clicking somebody. I've said this a lot, but Fervor is really good on him. You stack Fervor and you stack your poison at the same time with auto attacks, so your E does more damage afterwards. The game going later in general has definitely helped him the most though. I think it's in the same way. If it speeds up again, then he won't be as good. He's strong now because games are lasting longer than 30 minutes a lot more. I'd actually watch out for Kalista. She's really underrated right now. Super good early in 2v2 fights especially. Fervor is like the same as Twitch. You stack that, you stack your rend, and then it makes your E do a lot more damage afterwards. You also have lifesteal overkill. Blade plus Bloodthirster healing on all 3 bolts of runes is ridiculous. Plus Ardent Sensor and support meta as well helps all 3 of these, but Kalista especially. Free attack speed and even more healing. Moving on to the jungle, it is time to mention the clown again. He's probably worth a ban now at this point. I would ban Shaco. He's starting to be played a lot more and still his win rate is going up each patch mostly because of the new build. Trinity and Titanic into tank is the way to go on Shaco, it seems, and it flips what we know about him around. We used to really early pressure Shaco, ganking all the time. You snowball wins, you have to get ahead, otherwise you're going to lose, and you can still do that, but the point is he's better later now. Fervor has become a lot more popular on him. It's 4 autos to stack, a lot of extra AD, and the Bruiser build especially makes him better mid to late game. He's probably one of the best mid to late game junglers you can play. If you've ever wanted to one-shot people, duel people, but also be really tanky, it kind of looks like now is your chance. Now Ivern is going to be number 2, and only because he relies on his team a lot more than Shaco does. Ivern is a problem champion, I think. He's weird to play. He's really hard to nerf as well, and I think it's kind of broken at the moment. He's the best jungler before 35 minutes. Legit, the best early game jungler you can play in the entire game. It's not because of his damage, but because of how impossible he makes it for his team to die. He has Daisy to disrupt and block damage, crowd control, a leap to gank with as well, like redemption heals, locket shields, his own shields. You might not realize it, but he's probably the reason you're losing a lot of fights against him. His team won't die, he'll crowd control you, be annoying, and just outlast your damage. It's super weird, but if you actually play him or you played him in the past, you start to realize just how much impact you really have. Now Warwick is the best low elo jungler by a freaking mile right now. You have healing, damage, and you're tanky. Like, that's the holy trinity of junglers pretty much. He's still good at high ranks actually as well, like a more tanky build though, like Cinderhulk, Titanic and stuff, rather than Blood Razor. You see it a lot lower down to carry with. By the way, Trinity Force is ridiculous on him, so definitely try that. But Fervor is also amazing. Like, it supplies so much damage. You've got good engage, you can tank for your team, and you can carry yourself. Now moving on to the mid lane, a side note for Ahri. Ahri is pretty broken at the moment. I know she's really broken at the moment, but you don't need me to tell you that, so let's just skip her today. Fizz is going to be the top spot then, and remember what I was saying about how the game has slowed down a ton and it doesn't end as fast? Well, Fizz has something to say about that. He's probably the best snowball assassin right now and is mostly just abusing the other scaling mages or scaling picks. It's not just him, it's who he's against. If everybody else is farming up for late game, right, Fizz can get in early, he gets that lead and keeps killing people before they reach their power points. The meta is really good for him and it's the biggest thing. Like, any low health mage who cannot dodge his ultimate makes it a really easy game. Every time it's off cooldown, all you have to do is fire it forward, you blow a flash, or you get a kill. The issues you're going to have come later. So as people group up and as they buy more about Mortius, which is really strong and cop blocks you, you're going to really struggle to still kill people. Like, he's one pick where he's really strong, but if you don't roam a ton, you don't kill people and look to end the game, then you are going to probably struggle a bit. Now, Twisted Fate, I think, is undervalued, I guess. Not like people don't know he exists, but just not how good he actually is at the moment. He's kind of changed now a little bit. Roaming is important, but it's not how he wins most of his games. He's actually really good in team fights. He doesn't get blocked by tanks as much, which is really good. His gold cards mean way more as well. Like, any target you hit is likely going to be a priority target. If you have 5 low health damage champions on the enemy team and you gold card one of them, chances are you're going to be able to blow one up, and it actually has a bigger impact than if you gold card a tank. Most people don't think of it like that. The roaming side is really good. Obviously, you have low mobility AD carries and more aggressive supports to kind of set things up for you. In my opinion, right now it is mid game though. Like, your Rod of Ages is scaling up, your Lich Bane provides that burst, and you have low cooldown stuns. He's also got really good objective control with his vision from his ultimate and wave clear if you get behind, and he doesn't get bent over as hard in the lane phase because less assassins. I've got 2 to watch out for. So Talon is very similar to Fizz, just an AD version. He's coming back up again. Lethality is not quite as crap as everyone wants to think it is, and Talon will be happy to remind you before leaping over a wall to escape. Anivia is very good against other mages, but good mid game as well. She is much more well-rounded, kind of more well-rounded than Fizz. Your damage is actually pretty insane, and the game is slow enough for double scaling items, your Tear and Rod of Ages. Top, in my opinion, is really diverse at the moment. Like, Fiora, Rumble, Nautilus are all really good picks that could be on here. Darius is the first one I want to talk about though. Number 1, because he's the most consistent laner. Exactly what you want when you want to climb elo. The fervor is really good on him. You have the heal, the damage with the burst and extended trades. It's hard to find a way to fight him either way if he does both. There aren't really that many matchups that he struggles with though. Like, Fiora, Riven and Kled are kind of even matchups, I guess, but there are a lot that he does well in. The new build as well, Trinity Force into tank instead of Black Cleaver. Now, I haven't tried this a ton. Cleaver is safer, but it seems to be a really strong carry build. I don't think top is as impactful as other lanes right now, just in the general meta. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this as well, but Darius can bend his opponent over and get a lead in basically every single game, which is why I'm going to put him number 1. Kled is like the new rising star of the top lane over from career. That's kind of where he first kicked off and where he's taking a dump on people right now. It's been happening ever since the fervor buff, so he just feeds into his kit really well, and he does a lot of damage with Titanic and Cleaver together. Honestly, I'm not sure how long this is going to last for, okay? Like, he's good, but people do not understand him. It definitely gives him a major advantage when you're not sure how to beat Kled because you don't understand his kit. He pretty much nails any tanks though and other bruisers, and that is where a lot of the win rate comes from. It's very similar to Darius, right? Strong early, gets weaker later, but his mid game is still good with his roaming ultimate charge thingy. I've got 2 to watch out for again. So the first one is Irelia, and a bit of a surprise this patch for me, but I want to keep my eye on her and see what happens. It's Fervor plus the new blade that has done it really. The new blade is better overall for her and gives her more healing plus more AD, so more burst damage. In theory, she should actually be pretty decent right now. We have longer games, slower lanes, and time to turn into that kind of almost hyper carry. Talon is the same as mid lane. He's coming back as the best AD assassin right now, but it's a little bit different from the mid lane one. He's actually not that great early game. Now, mostly probably because he's top lane, he gets beat by other bruisers, and also it's an island, so it's hard for him to roam. He is really strong mid game though, where you can roam around, you can jump walls, one-shot people, and snowball the game. Basically not really even laning top lane anymore. So finally, let's move on to support, and I've left it last because I think you guys are going to know who I'm going to pick. Lulu is going to be number 1. By far the best support you can play, in my opinion, as long as you have a half decent AD carry. And the thing is, actually, you probably don't even need that. You make good AD carries much better. You make crap AD carries average, and I'll take that any day as a support. Ardent Sensor is like picks on steroids, I guess. With Locket and Redemption, it gets more ridiculous. First time a support actually is item reliant though. Like, Sensor is attack speed and health still, right? You give them more attack speed yourself on hit damage, like speed, shield, ultimate, the Redemption heal, and the Locket shield. That is so much to increase their damage and keep them using that damage for longer by keeping them alive. The two together is pretty stupid. Early game is where you kind of have to punish Lulu if you're going to, otherwise you're going to start to cry a lot in team fights. Like, in my opinion, you might even want to ban her. So Sona is a bit underappreciated in my opinion. She's better than a lot of people think she is. The first thing is she is always the support I asked for as an AD carry. Legit, it's a brain dead playstyle. It's so easy to play, so easy to have a big impact. I'm sure a lot of people have had rubbish Sonas, and I know they're squishy, they can run in and die, but in general, it's pretty easy to play that champion and be good with her. She is a team fight beast as well naturally with her kit, not even items. The aura cooldown lowers with ultimate rank, so you have more spam, more heals, more damage, and items as well like Lulu. The difference to Lulu really is you apply Ardent Sensor and your increased shields and heals and stuff to everybody around you with your W in a team fight. Another big difference in my opinion is you're more aggressive in the lane phase and more pokey anyway. Like, it's easier to play aggressive because you have a heal behind you after afterwards. So you mess it up and you can heal the damage back. You also have a really big aggressive ultimate combo with your AD, ganks, team fights, whatever it is. I think you can do more as Sona than Lulu, but Lulu increases AD damage by an insane amount. Now the one to watch is Janna. Sadly, I hate this champion, but she is better again. Same as Sona, in team fights she's just a complete god. Like shield gives you AD, attack speed, health steal now with sensor. Tell me that is not broken itself. I would love to have that on someone like Lucian, for example, and this probably is buffing it. Janna Lucian is not that bad of a lane. Your ultimate heal will also give sensor to everybody around you. Redemption, lock it for the same thing. You've gone from like single target defense god like normal to AoE defense god now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you for checking out the video and staying until the end, but for now I'll leave you with the robots.